Hi, welcome back to Getting Results Through Others. This is a training program for managers and supervisors. This is part 6. So there are 5 parts before this and an introduction. And as we discussed in the introduction, we said that most of today's managers get what we call an MBA, meaning that they become a manager by accident, either by being in the right place at the right time, son or daughter or family member of the owner, and sometimes just being the longest tenured employee, you all of a sudden become a manager. Just like that. One day you're on staff and next day you're a manager. And that's not necessarily a problem. As we've said, that provides a lot of great opportunity for you, and we look forward to what can come. Where it is a problem is if there's no training and development. So we've surveyed our customers and our clients over the years, and we've developed a list of the key skills that are required to be a successful manager. And as we discussed earlier, a successful manager is measured by his or her ability to get results through others. And so we've been covering these topics. In our first video, we talked about helping team members be more productive. We talked about communicating effectively, activity and results. And all of these videos, there are links in the notes below, so you can look back and review any of those that you'd like. We talked about clarifying goals and expectations. We talked about motivating people. And this one is about training techniques that work. So we've got a couple more coming. We've got decision making and problem solving, creating synergistic teamwork, and customer service. So those will be coming down the line here pretty quick. But today's topic is on training techniques that work. And so what I want to do is provide some very simple ideas that every manager and supervisor could initiate tomorrow morning. Not everyone who's watching this has a training department they can rely on or an HR department. So these are going to be some very fundamental, easy steps that you can put into place right away tomorrow morning to continue to develop your folks. So in the video before this, we talked about closing that gap and a manager's responsibility of closing the gap between an individual's current performance and their potential. And I like this quote because it says, the more you help another succeed, the more you help yourself. And that could not be more true than in a supervisory and management position. The more you help another succeed, the more you help yourself. So how can we do that? So I'm going to give you 4 ideas, training ideas that you can take back and put into place tomorrow. The first one is to encourage personal growth, and that's just to encourage your team to try new things and to acquire new skills. When people are growing, they're motivated. When they're motivated to doing good things for you and your company. So you can start by tomorrow morning just encouraging people to try something new, work on a new skill set, and have them continue to develop on their own. And watch them, give them feedback, give them praise. And when you see them trying something new, encourage them to continue doing that. That's a training technique that works, and it lifts the motivation forward. A second idea for you is to be aware that you're to be a good role model, and just simply be aware that you are your own training department. You're always on the clock, and your people are always watching you. So by being a good role model, you're your own training department. You're showing your employees, your staff, what it is to do and what you expect them to do. So remember, you are your own training department. Be a great role model. Third thing you can do is encourage personal goal setting. And if you've watched this series, that topic continues to come up over and over again. We talked about it in the motivation session of creating a self-motivated individual. And the one thing that we know is that achievement builds self-esteem and self-confidence. And then you're going to produce or have a more productive employee. Again, when they're experiencing success, they're more productive for you. So encouraging that personal goal setting, we did that in the last video clip. Again, there's a link down below if you'd like to connect with that and see how to do that. And then the last idea I have for you is to set up a personal development library. And that's something you can do at your desk, or if you have a storage room or a conference room, that you just start a personal library. It could start with one book or one blog post that you print off the printer or an article, and start to build a library. Maybe it's something you do by yourself, or maybe it's something you encourage your staff to add to if they want to. If you've never been to Half-Price Books, they've got great values on personal development books and business leadership books, specialization books. And so start a personal development library. Again, it doesn't have to be big to get started. What you might find is it starts to grow on its own. People like to contribute and like to be a part of that. Make it easy for your team members to have access to material that can help them grow. So there are 4 ideas right there for you, little basic training techniques that every single person watching this video could implement tomorrow. So I'd like to challenge you to pick one of those and put it into place. One of those ideas to help develop your people to the next level. I'm going to finish this video with a challenge for you, and this ties back in with that reducing the performance gap. And this is a worksheet that you can put together. Just grab a piece of paper and divide it into 4 different sections. Start on the left-hand side with the name of the individual that you're managing. And then moving to the right, in the first column, describe their current level of performance. Maybe you choose to do it on a scale of 1 to 10. So describe their current level of performance. Maybe you say they're a 6 or a 7. And what we know as supervisors and managers is oftentimes that gap, a potential gap, is bigger than your employee thinks it is. So in the next box, moving to your right, list the potential. So you see them currently at a 6, but you see them being an 8 or a 9 on that scale of 1 to 10. So in that box, you'd put a 9. Okay, so if their performance currently is a 6, but you see their potential being a 9, the far right-hand column then is action needed to reduce that gap. And that's where it comes to you as the supervisor and manager. What are some things that you can do to close that gap, to move them from a current 6 to a 7, from a 7 to an 8, and make a plan of action here. So my challenge to you for this exercise is to list your entire staff and then work across their current performance on a scale of 1 to 10, what you perceive their potential to be on a scale of 1 to 10, and then if there is a gap, which there is in most people, then what actions needed to take place. And just do little steps at a time. If you can move them from a 6 to a 7, they'll be a more productive employee, they'll be more loyal to you and more engaged. So how do you make them move on that first step? So you've got two challenges. One is pick one of the development choices that we listed just a moment ago, and number two is to use the worksheet similar to this to reduce a performance gap. Here's all my contact information. If I can help you in any way, continue to grow or develop, we look forward to that. Don't forget to subscribe to this so you can make sure and stay updated with the next video that comes out, and any feedback is appreciated. Good luck and go get them.